Hello, and welcome to the second installment of SnowFlake 33. My name is Mike Bostwick, and I am the musician behind the music of Pipe Choir, PC1, PC3, and the Marian Circle Drum Brigade. Last week, in my first installment of SnowFlake 33, the debut of this idea, I had asked my listeners if they had any questions or anything they wanted to talk to me about. And you cannot imagine how happy I was that not only did somebody submit one question, but he actually submitted 3 questions. His name is David V, and he is from Canada. Thank you, David, for your questions. Now, I was so happy that David V submitted his questions that I decided that, as a token of my appreciation for David's participation in all this, I would send him a free copy of the brand new PC3 album, Astra 3. In fact, after I decided to send David a free copy of the CD, I decided that I would make a deal with you guys. The first 5 people to submit a question to SnowFlake 33 will receive a free copy of the brand new Astra 3 album from PC3. Please feel free to leave your questions in the comment section below. So thank you again, David, for your participation. And now, before I get into answering David's questions, I just want to quickly thank a very talented and interesting musician, Aaron Future, for the well wishes on my new endeavor, and for supporting PC3 for a very long time now. Thank you, Aaron. Now, back to answering David V's questions. David V from Canada wrote, I love your music. Do you make music full-time or is it a side project? Also, why do you make all of your music free? Not that I'm complaining. Please keep up the great work. Thank you, David, for your questions. And thanks for the kind words, too. I'm glad you enjoy the music. Now, the first part of his question was, do you make music full-time? And the answer is yes. I am able to devote all of my time to Pipe Choir records, all day, every day. And that basically means that all of the content that's put out by Pipe Choir records is created by me. Nothing is outsourced. To answer the second part of David's question, is it just a side project? The answer is no, but I do have side projects of my own. Pipe Choir was the original project that I started with, and then from that, over a long period of time, I started to branch out into PC1, PC3, and eventually the Marian Circle Drum Brigade. I plan on giving an in-depth explanation for all of those projects in future SnowFlake episodes. So be sure to check those out when they are done. The third part of David's question was, why do you make all of your music free? That is a very good question, and it is a question that could be answered several different ways. But before I answer that question, I want to clarify something. I don't give my music away for free. I would say I share my music with everyone, and I allow people to use my music for free. When it comes to anything involving Pipe Choir records, I have kind of made it a personal policy to have at least 3 very solid, good reasons for doing something. If I can't think of 3 good reasons to do something, I usually won't do it at all. So, having said that, my first reason for allowing people to use my music for free is very simple and a bit idealistic, I suppose, at least to some degree. I have always felt that my ability to make music was a gift that I received for free, without ever having to ask for it. And without cost. Now, obviously, some artists are more gifted than others, but I have never allowed that to stop me from trying to do the best that I can with what I have. For a guy like me, I am just grateful for whatever limited ability that I do have, and I'm also grateful for the opportunity to find my audience. And after all, the point of creating anything is to experience having people enjoy what you've created. I mean, isn't it more enjoyable to watch a friend eat a delicious meal that you cooked for them? Isn't it even better than eating the meal yourself? I think it is. And in my book, the same principle applies to anything that I create. I have no problem allowing people to use my music however they wish. There is nothing in the world more fulfilling to me than making music every day and sharing it with as many people as possible. And honestly, it's probably the most natural thing for me to be doing anyway. So I have absolutely no problem with sharing my music with anyone at all. I would also say that allowing free use of my music is actually a very practical, but also a very new kind of business model for the music industry. In some ways, it's very different from when I was younger, but in many ways, it's still really kind of similar. It really is the equivalent to me of putting up flyers for a live performance or doing a radio promotion for an album release. It's advertising. Also, too, many of the people that I know personally do not have a lot of expendable income. Most of the people that I know are strivers, just like me. So that is why I allow people to even monetize the videos they use my music in. If I can help the next guy make a couple extra bucks and maybe put some food on the table, then that to me is fantastic. Another good reason that I allow free use of my music is this. You know, there is so much content readily available on the internet, and you're either immediately disinterested and you move on, or you are interested and you keep listening. I know for myself that if I listen to something enough for free, if I keep returning to something, not only will I eventually buy that item that I initially found, but I usually wind up eventually buying the whole catalog of material from that artist. As an artist and a musician myself, I'm grateful that I have that amazing opportunity to enjoy other people's content without cost. Also, I should add that this is a relatively new luxury for all of us to enjoy. So, truthfully, by allowing free use of my music, I have actually wound up selling more music than ever before in my life. Now, it did seem counterintuitive to me at first that it works that way. But if you really think about it, it really kind of makes sense. If you advertise enough, eventually people will respond. By allowing free use of all of the music in the Pipe Choir catalog, it has inadvertently exposed me to many, many people that otherwise would never even have heard of me. By allowing free use of my music in YouTube videos and things like that, I sometimes benefit personally from watching those videos. And finally, there is also another very important aspect to free use licensing. And this is probably the most important reason, and probably the most interesting reason to me as well. What really solidified my position on the free use attribution licensing was seeing how some people are actually using my music to help them sleep. Some people are using my music for anxiety therapy, and they use it to study to, and they use it to chill out to. My music is being used in a classroom setting with autistic children. Interestingly enough, my use of what is known as white noise in a lot of my PC3 music apparently benefits these children somehow. And it allows them to focus and relax while learning in the classroom. The fact that my music is doing that is not only fascinating to me, but man, that is like the highest honor, the highest compliment to me. You know, it's one thing to have your music enjoyed by ordinary people in ordinary settings. That, in and of itself, is the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. But to have my music being used as medicine for people, I could never imagine that would ever be possible. But that has become part of my reality. Those are just some of the reasons why I allow free use of my music to anyone and everyone. And I will continue to do that for the rest of my life. Anyone listening to this should know that you are allowed to use any of the music that I make. You can go right ahead and use it in your YouTube videos, your TV commercials, your TV programs. I make alternative music. I make acoustic guitar music. I make hard rock music. I have long instrumental pieces. I have extremely long study music and relaxation pieces. I also have very short pieces of music as well. I have a very broad range of sounds. I have a very broad range of dynamics. All of this is free for you to use without fear of retribution. You don't even have to ask for my permission. You just have to make sure that you attribute me in the credits for your project, and that is all I ask in return. Over the past couple of years, I've had a lot of people ask me for permission to use my music in their videos, and I appreciate the gesture of courtesy. I do. But hopefully after people hear this, they won't have to ask me for permission anymore, because they'll know that I don't mind if they use my music for anything. I enjoy it. Actually, nothing makes me happier. So, David, I hope that I've answered your questions adequately, and thank you again for participating. It really matters a great deal to me that somebody just asked. And like I said before, I'll be sending you your Ad Astra 3 CD, signed by me, just as you requested. I am pretty sure that Ad Astra 3 will be the last of that series for PC3. I've done Ad Astra 1, Ad Astra 2, and Ad Astra 3. So the next PC3 release will probably be a very different kind of thing. I have a lot of ideas that I'm working out in my head right now, new things that I'm working on. For example, I'm currently working on a brand new full-length pipe choir album for anyone who's interested in that. It's really at the top of my to-do list these days. I'm devoting quite a bit of time to that right now. And I have a lot of new SnowFlake 33 ideas planned for release in the very near future. One of them, for example, is a song-by-song breakdown of the different CDs that I've released, for the people that enjoy that kind of thing as much as I do. So, if any of these ideas sound interesting to you, and you enjoy being a part of this experiment of mine, be sure to click subscribe if you're listening to this on YouTube. And folks, please don't forget that I promise that the first 5 people who submit a question to SnowFlake 33 will receive a free copy of the new PC3 album, Ad Astra 3. I would be happy to send you a signed copy of the CD if you want. I would be happy to send you a copy of the CD that's still in the shrink wrap if that's what you want. Or, if that's not something that you're interested in, I would be just as glad to send you a digital download of the album as well. Just let me know what you prefer after you submit your questions. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask, feel free to go right ahead and ask me. And I promise you that I will answer your question as thoroughly and as quickly as I possibly can. Thank you, everybody, and hopefully you'll tune in next time. This is Mike Bostwick signing off for now. And remember, folks, if you want to keep what you've got, you gotta give it away. That is all. Goodbye.